October 30th, 2012, over on the western hemisphere of the United States, you can see that we have a cold front, which then turns into a stationary front moving down. In this center here, we have two high pressure areas and one low pressure moving down to the southern. Over in California, the high temperature is 78, and then the low temperature is 38. Moving over into the other side of the eastern hemisphere of the United States, Connecticut, directing, has 68 of high pressure, 57 low. As you can tell, cold front has moved out and warm front has gone up, leaving the precipitation level as 0.78%.
Today, in Connecticut, the temperature is 68 of a high and the low of 57 with precipitation of 0.73. The average high for this time of year is 65 degrees and the average low is 45 degrees. The record high is 65 degrees and the record low is 35 degrees.
For 2012, as you can see over in the western hemisphere in California, we have a high of 79 and a low of 38. You can see that there's two high pressure areas directing over to the western hemisphere, but moving into the center, you can see that we have a stationary front, which is moving warm fronts this way, cold fronts this way, leaving a low pressure center right here and a high pressure right there. Directing over to Connecticut, you see that we have a cold front running through it with a high of 59, leaving a low of 51, with a precipitation rate of 1.06.
October 31st in Connecticut, we're going to have a high of 59 and a low of 51 degrees. And the precipitation would be 0.4. There's a cold front moving from Connecticut up easterly towards Maine. The average high for this time of year is 51 degrees and the average low is 40 degrees. And the record high would be 61 degrees and the record low has been 31 degrees.
On November 1st, 2012, you can see over in California in the western hemisphere, we have a high of 71 dropping to a low of 36. Directing back into the center of the United States, you see that we have a warm front going this direction up into the east hemisphere, leaving a high pressure center over here and a high pressure center in the south, both in the north and the south. Directing over toward Connecticut, you see that we have a low pressure center up in Maine, leaving a high of 46 and leaving a low of 35 in Connecticut. Though you can see that the cold front has moved up towards as predicted before, leaving us with colder temperatures.
First, we have a high of 46 degrees and a low of 35 degrees in Connecticut, and 0.2 of precipitation. Down here, we have the average high of 40 degrees and an average low of 32 degrees, and the record high and low is 50 and 22 degrees.